Okay guys, welcome. I am super excited to bring you the following video. This is not really a product review. This is more of a kit slash gear concept video. I'm still trying to think of what I should name this video. Urban Survival Toolkit, MacGyver Kit, the MacGyver Tool Roll, something like that. And as I dig deeper into this tool roll, you'll understand where I'm going with this. But I guess before I can even open this up, I guess a little bit of background. Part of this philosophy comes from one of my favorite TV shows, still to this day, the old late 80s, early 90s show, MacGyver. Ran for 7 seasons, I believe, like 150 episodes, something like that. And a lot of people don't think of MacGyver as a survival show, more of just a cool spy, whatever. Some people hate the show, but I always kind of watch that show, or whenever I watch that show, it shows how kind of using your mind and being smart about things, you can do stuff with minimal amount of gear. And I'm not just talking about like disarming bombs and you know, this and that, you know, all that crazy stuff. I just mean even like day-to-day stuff. I'm probably not the original person to think this, but I wanted to put together a toolkit that was minimal, but at the same time really capable, and the stuff in it was very open-ended. So I'm not talking about like repair kit, like gear repair. Some of this stuff might be able to handle that. I mean, anything from, and we're talking urban survival slash you might live in a city or outside of a city in like a suburb, but you, depending on how bad things are, you might be sheltering in place, but every couple of days you and a few friends might go on a short recce or reconnaissance mission, and you might find things along the way. I'm not a super hardcore pessimist prepper guy, but I like to balance reality with the worst case scenario. So I designed this to be carried in my, like an everyday carry backpack or messenger bag or laptop bag, a bag that I would just keep in my car, and it has some basic repair tools for either my car, or I might be at a job site and we've got to do whatever the case may be, and like some of the stuff in here might be able to double or be used for that. Or if I'm at a friend or family member's house and something breaks or whatever the case may be, having just a kind of open-ended toolkit, I think is kind of important. It's kind of cool, and it's probably a lot more practical than, you know, a lot of guys are obsessed with flashlights, with knives, with guns, and all those things are great, but in all reality, in every day in, day out type tasks, this would prove to be more useful than a brand new Smith & Wesson shield, your newest concealed carry pistol, etc., etc., or some $500 custom knife that you can get to carry every day that is sharp. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video. Like I said, I'm not the original inventor, you could say, of this philosophy or kit, but I watched a really interesting video, a few of them by the Urban Prepper, and if you are not subscribed to him, I'm going to leave a link to his channel. His channel is leaps and bounds better than mine. I'll just be honest, straight up. And I believe it was an older video. I'm actually kind of a newer subscriber to his, but he did a survival kit concept video. It's called the 5-pound survival toolkit. And in his video, he said in like his bug out bag and his wife's, he'd rather carry more minimal shelter and have like the tent and the better shelter in his wife's bug out bag. And for those few pounds of weight savings, he'd rather carry a toolkit. And you know, I kind of tossed that idea around for a while, and I guess the reason I thought it was so cool is it went totally against the what you need for a bug out bag or your bug out plan. You know, like a toolkit that weighs 5 pounds. You know, so I guess that's why I thought it was cool. It like just totally went against like all the, you know, black and white, carry this, don't carry this stuff. So that was one of, or some of the background behind this kit. So I'm going to leave a link to his channel and his video. It was great. So some of the stuff in here might resemble his a little bit because a lot of the stuff he was carrying were very kind of basic, useful tools. And then I also didn't include some of the stuff he's carrying, and then I also included some different stuff. So, I know all you guys are just waiting for me to open this up. You like want to know what's in here. First of all, this kit is a newer piece from one of my favorite companies called Hill People Gear. Hill People Gear is a very small company. I'm going to leave a link to their website. One of their newest products is the tool roll. And you know I can go to Amazon or Menards or something like that and buy like a $5 or $10 canvas tool roll and whatever. I got this one because I like the philosophy and I like some of the features. So first, it's made out of a stretchy nylon material, so it will stretch before it tears. Next, it has a nice carry handle. It has Velcro here on the back, which incorporates into my bug out bag, so it can stay put. I like the coloring. At least right now, it only comes in Coyote. The dimensions they state are 10 inches by 6 inches by like really thin. Right now, it's about only 5 inches, but it's thick, as you can tell. And again, I'm not positive this is how I have this loaded out, is how they intended it to be used. But part of the reason I love their company is they make open-ended gear. They're like, we'll make the stuff we're not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't put in it, you know, stuff like that. So it's a tool roll, and that's what it's called, and it's actually so great. I bought 2 of them. But Hill People Gear tool roll. It's super lightweight. It weighs 3 ounces. Doesn't have any moly. It's a really lightweight fabric. So I am kind of interested to see how it holds up durability-wise long term. But the thing is, I'm not going to be going into this day in and day out. This will probably rarely be open because, like I said, this is like a backup fix-it / MacGyver kit. So there's a lot of Velcro here, hook and loop, Velcro, whatever you want to call it, which I think is great. It can even get a little bit bigger, and then it can still get smaller, and like you get the picture. It's a nice pull cord. So what do I have in this? Well, first, and I hope this is all in frame, but this is the toolkit. Okay, so fully rolled out, here it is. And some of you guys might already be trying to figure out what tools I have in here, and some of you guys might be like, what? You know, that's barely anything. So before I get anywhere, I weighed it. It weighs a hair over 4 pounds. So I'm going to round it down. It weighs 4 pounds. To some of you guys, that might seem extremely heavy. To other guys, you might think that's really, really lightweight. And I did really good on the weight. But I want to state the weight at the beginning. I'm going to tear this whole thing out, show you what I have in here, and you decide for yourself if 4 pounds is too heavy. So, I'll start on this small pocket. I'll pull everything out at once. I have some Kevlar cord. It's about 20-30 feet. It's rated to 400 pounds. just have it wrapped on an old card, but it stores really flat. It's like weighs less than an ounce. It's super lightweight. Like I said, rated 400 pounds. The blue is easy to see. You can use it for kind of escape and evasion, cutting zip ties, different stuff like that. I just included it because it's strong, it doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's useful. You can use it to sew. Yeah. Next is 2-inch wide Gorilla Tape. I wrapped this on another card, 40 feet or 30, 40 feet or so wrapped on here. Next I have, this is micro survival cord, or micro 550 cord. So it's paracord, it's 550 cord, but it has half the inner strands, it has half the working strength, and it's half the diameter, half the weight. I found that normal 550 cord is overkill for like 95% of the stuff I do. This stuff is rated to about 300 pounds, about 275 actually. It's about an 1/8 inch in diameter, and surprisingly this is about 40 feet, I believe, and it's compact. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and that's part of the reason I like it. Next is a pair of vice grips. These are 5 or 6 inch vice grips. You can still, you know, bear down. You can twist nuts with it, use it as a little vice or a clamp, and it's just big enough. I couldn't go any smaller. Doesn't weigh that much, and they're really useful. So a pair of vice grips. Next I have a Leatherman Wave and a bit driver extension piece and a set of bits for it. Truthfully, when I started this concept, I was not going to include this. What I was going to do is include a file, include a saw, I was looking on Amazon for like a screwdriver that accepted various bits, and then I already own this, so I was like, you know what, it already has a file, so it has a file and a diamond blade. It has a serrated blade. It has a file, or it has a wood saw, which is actually really nice, and then it has a knife, not to mention the different screwdrivers, can openers, you know, and it's 8 ounces, so I mean, it offers a lot. And truth be told, I carry another Leatherman in my pocket, but you know, this is where this multi-tool fits in, because I don't carry this every day. I did for a while. That's why it has a pocket clip. But truthfully, it's just like, it's too heavy. But in a kit like this, this fits in perfect and probably saves you some weight over tons of various other tools. So that's the bits, which that's probably all the bits I need. I know, knock on wood. It has, you know, needle nose pliers, pair of wire cutters, pair of standard pliers. You know, I figured for wiring, for electrical stuff, these will serve just fine. It can cut pretty large wire, and I've had it for a while, so it's really smooth opening. I know if you get a brand new Leatherman, they're kind of stiff, but Leatherman. So, I believe, yeah, those are both those pockets. Now, first off, I'm going to save that. So first, I just threw it in here because I got a new EDC light. This is my old everyday carry light, Streamlight Stylus Pro. You can never have like too many flashlights, and especially if you have to use a toolkit at night. This is reasonably bright. It's like 80 lumens. It's slim, but again, this is just kind of a bonus. This is a Vaughn 6-inch pry bar. Doesn't look like much, but it like barely flexes. Oh, man. It's like a miniature flat bar, wonder bar, two-sided, and some of you guys might have those titanium everyday carry pry bars. Truth be told, I'd rather have one of these than titanium. Titanium is just too soft, especially these teeth. I've had a few titanium everyday carry pry bars, and like if you actually use them as they're intended, I guess, for pulling nails and whatnot, the blades nick up. Titanium's actually rather soft. So it's strong, but it's soft, and it kind of limits applications. And if you want to talk about weight, this weighs 0.9 ounces. So, yeah, pry bar. Small, but very capable. I threw this in last minute. It's just a 6-inch mill bastard flat file. I do have another file on my Leatherman, but you know, this just for sharpening. I carry a shovel in my bug out bag. I might have a hatchet or axe, sharpening that, and it's not the best size, but again, it doesn't weigh that much, and so I threw it in. Plus for notching, cutting metal, stuff like that. So 6-inch flat file. These, this is a 1/8 and 3/32 pin punch. I'm not going to advocate doing anything illegally, but if you have a metal vessel filled with a liquid, you can use this as a punch and make a hole so that liquid drains into another vessel. I'll leave it at that. But 2 of these, and also for other things, I guess. 2 pin punches. I could just carry 1, but you know, I have 2. They don't weigh that much, and they can also be used defensively. And then this is a 6-inch crescent wrench. Again, I could have went bigger, because you can see how, so I could have gotten like an 8-inch, so you get a little bit more torque. But the thing is, okay, this opens up to 1 inch. If a bolt's bigger than 1 inch, even an 8-inch crescent wrench, almost any crescent wrench is kind of underkill for a bolt that big, especially if it's really tight on there. You're probably going to bust the jaws on your crescent wrench. Adjustable wrenches aren't really designed for like high torque applications, but it's either carrying 1 of these or carrying, you know, a full you know, box and wrench set or a full socket set, you know. And I have those in other tool kits, but for this one I just kind of wanted it multifunctional and kind of simple. So this can handle basic bolt turning, not to mention the vice grips can also. This is just a 1/2-inch cold chisel. Again, it's mostly designed for cutting metal rod or making notches and then bending it. You can also use it as a door wedge. You can also use it as a, not really a pry bar, but to, yeah, kind of like a pry bar or a wedge. Or if you use, you can use this as to increase your leverage if you're prying something. Or you can pry up with this, get a space, and drive this in to hold your space. You get the picture. Next, and again, maybe overkill. Hold on, I was trying to save these till last. So this is just a Vaughn molding. I think they call it a molding bar. I like this. I still have the original label, but it's pretty dinged up. I've had it for a while. I like it how wide this blade is, and you still get reasonable lift. You know, so all the way down, you're getting like a 1/2 inch of lift. It's a little bit longer than that one, and then it's kind of ergonomic because you can wrap your hands around that T, and then you can flip it over, and you have a 90-degree nail puller or pry bar. And on the other side, you do have a hammer. It's not that heavy of a hammer, but if you had to, it would suffice. This weighs like 6 ounces, so it's a really light hammer. But I couldn't justify the weight of a hammer because I have other things that could function. You can also use a rock or other heavy implement. And lastly, this is the Knipex mini bolt cutters. These, I'm also going to be putting a video out on these. I think these things are great. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to keep all legalities out of there. Whatever you do with these, it's on you. You know, I'm not advocating any illegal activities, but I'm going to leave it at that. But they are very useful. They give you a lot of capability. They're not that heavy. They're like 10 or 12 ounces, but for a toolkit, and like I said, this makes up a lot of the weight. So if I wanted to, I could take these two things out, and that would drop it by like 1.5 pounds or something like that. So you might think, oh, okay, that's a meager toolkit. Well, I'm not done. Okay, are you guys ready? I took out all the tools. We're going to go into the hardware store or hardware department. And this is maybe where a lot of people will be like, oh, okay, yeah. So, like I said, this is meant to be quick fix it, quick repair, hasty repair, whether you're trying to fix something, whether you're trying to escape from something, whether you're trying to get into someplace, or whether you're trying to break something. Fix it, break it, get in, get out. And also maybe a little bit of gear repair. So, starting off, I have 2 pair of nitrile gloves, and I just have a Ranger band around each pair. Tenacious Tape. The reason I bought this is I had a Thermara sleeping pad that developed a hole, so I bought some of this, and it's still holding up. What it is it's a very thin, sticky, strong tape, and this is mostly meant for gear repair. It doesn't weigh that much, but for packs, for sleeping bags, for puffy jackets, rain jackets, sleeping pads, stuff like that, you can put some of this on, and then if it's like a really big tear, you can put some of this and then sew through this and the fabric just to make it double the strength. So, Tenacious Tape. Next, I have number 242 blue Loctite. Again, just leave your mind open, and instead of questioning like, why the hell would you want Loctite? You know, just leave your mind open. If you don't need it, it doesn't cost that much, and it's really light. This is some clear medical tape. Again, this isn't a first aid kit, but this tape is especially strong. I like this. I can use this to wrap Christmas and birthday presents instead of like Scotch tape. I can use it to like seal envelopes, and it's just it's easier to work with, it's stickier, and it's a lot stronger. Right here I just have some, this is just some 14 gauge copper wire, like what you use for like a home wiring project. And then I have just black and white. They're all about only 1 foot long, and I stripped it out of a piece of like 14 gauge wire, and then this is like 24 gauge wire just for multiple things. This is about the best electrical tape you can buy, the Super 33 Plus by Scotch. It's really strong, stays super sticky, and you can use it in very, very cold weather, which is important to me, and then also warm weather. But it's 3/4 of an inch by 66 feet. I have a few rolls of this. This one I haven't used, and I left it in the plastic case because it doesn't take up that much more space, and then I can also use this plastic case to hold something else. So, electrical tape. And if you don't remember, I also have Gorilla Tape. This is a bundle or a spool of, it's deceiving, it's really thin, but it is picture hanging wire, but it is hell for stout. It's very, very strong stuff. I have some, if you know what JB Weld is, this is the same, but it's manufactured by Loctite. It's a resin and a hardener. It's pretty much JB Weld 2-part epoxy. I have super glue. I decided to go with 2 smaller things because I found out, like, once you open one, it kind of expires. So instead of having 1 big bottle, I have 2. But super glue, you have to ask me why I have that in there, then just don't ask me at all. Then I have some more tape. You might notice I like tape. You can do a lot of stuff with tape, just ask MacGyver. This is duct tape. I also have Gorilla Tape, I have the medical tape, and I have electrical tape. And then I have some 6-inch zip ties. I believe I have 6, I think I have 6 each, so I have 12 6-inch zip ties. Some of you might not know this, but if you, that 14 gauge household wire, if you take the inner strands out, this is a piece of the outer sheath, and you use this to kind of retain the zip ties, so you can still pull them out just fine, but then it's just more organized. So I have 12 6-inch zip ties. I have 10 8-inch zip ties. Again, same thing, keep them organized. And then I have, I believe, 10 total 11-inch zip ties. These, again, they're multifunctional, and that's everything. So that was my kit, you could say, my tool kit. So again, just a summary: I have zip ties, I have tape, maybe too much to some people. I have glue, I have more glue, I have Tenacious Tape, I got wire, I got some Loctite, so I'll put that with glue. I have 2 pry bars, I have some nitrile gloves, got a 1/2-inch cold chisel, I got some pin punches, I got some mini bolt cutters, I got some locking vice grip pliers, I have a 6-inch file, I got a AAA pen light, I have an adjustable wrench, some paracord, some Kevlar cord, a Leatherman bit kit, and a Leatherman. So, my question to you, for 4 pounds, would you be able to carry this in your get home bag, your EDC bag? I'm going to. 4 pounds, yes, it is a lot of weight, but when you look at all the gear on the table, or all the tools, this is a lot of stuff for 4 pounds. And if you use this to keep it organized into just one area, even if you don't carry it, if you're an apartment dweller, if you're somebody that doesn't do a lot of home repair, you don't own any tools, just buy one of these, or you don't even have to buy that exact tool roll. But all these tools, plus maybe a hammer, and maybe some type of saw. There's a few things that I don't have in this kit that you guys might already be writing comments about. A sewing kit. You're right, I don't have a sewing kit just because personally I'm not that good at sewing. I've never found a need to sew all that much. A lot of the gear and the clothes I wear are pretty durable, so they don't seem to wear holes. And if I had to sew, I could use some of this Kevlar cord. I could use super glue. I could use super glue and then some Gorilla Tape. I could use some of the Tenacious Tape. You know, could I include some safety pins? Yeah. Some paper clips or something? Yeah, I could. But it's... some of these things can already handle that. Some other things you might think I'm missing: a hacksaw blade. Yeah. The only problem with that is most hacksaw blades, I think the shortest maybe is 10 inches, and like just that whole apparatus, the saw is kind of bulky. I could carry just some of the blades, that's true. But truth be told, you know, whatever I need a hacksaw blade for, I might be able to cut through with this. I might be able to notch with a cold chisel, or I might be able to like bend it back and forth with a pair of the pliers. If it's plastic like PVC pipe or something like that, you can make a saw out of the Kevlar core. So I don't think I'm really missing anything here. As you can see, this is more of a, like I said, an entry kit, an exit kit, a fix-it kit, and a break-it kit. I'm not going to condone anything illegal, but sometimes things need to be broke, sometimes things need to be fixed, sometimes you got to get into somewhere, sometimes you got to get out of somewhere, and this is a kit for that. Hope you like this video, hope you like this concept of video, this type of video. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more philosophy type videos like this. And until next time, this is Steve. Stay safe.